Just getting everything set up here. Trying to anyway. I don't know what the heck just happened. I didn't mean to go live quite so quickly. I'm not sure why it has chose to go this direction, but it has. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, I didn't do it correctly. So this is just a little hey, what's up? Uh, Show you kind of what I got going on, what we've had come in. I just need to pull a couple things. Like I said, I hit the wrong button, so you guys are watching me do the crap. Sorry. Um, yeah. Uh, all right. All right, waiting for this to link up here. Make sure that I do have some volume. And I do. All right. Doesn't look like anybody's in here yet. So we'll get this finish lined up and I'll just kind of start dinking around until I see some people hopping in. Um, One thing I am trying to test is to see if my microphone and my lips match up. My son was making fun of me previously. Looks linked up to me. Yep, we're good. All right. Well, I think we're good anyway. Sorry if it's just. Whoa. Sorry if it's distracting. I'm trying out lighting things and doing new stuff here at the shop. Basically, today I'm just kind of doing some cleaning. Uh, I've had a couple of things on the bench, and we'll talk about those. Not something I am sponsored by, but something I absolutely love. Mountain Dew. I know it's weird. I know it's bad for you. Gotta do what you gotta do, right? So, things that I had out and why. So, one thing I've been working on here is a new. This is not for work on the RC trucks. I mean, I do use it sometimes, but do not do that. That is not good for you or for your machinery. So, a couple awesome things that have taken place. So there's a gentleman goes by the name of Brad Neal. He's a great guy. Came across him on high end RC, high end crawler RC parts, no crybabies, and multiple other websites. I first came in contact with him over a set of wheels that he had up for sale. great deal, brand new. Did a little package with him on that. Then the next thing that he had that I was wanted to play the game on was a VRD Carbon. So I got that. He had all the bells and whistles with it, so it's a full package build. He did send me a couple of bodies because I failed to choose one of the options. He just sent me both, so that was amazing, Brad. Thank you so much. Uh, I did not choose to go with that. We're going to go with the Reef's Plague body on this guy. So that's kind of what this stuff was. Is I I I don't like to see into the bed. I like to have it a little bit more closed in. Um, so I put a piece, and this is old license plate. I put a piece of old license plate in there and cut it kind of to the shape. This does have to come apart because I've got to paint this guy. My family is down in Billings, and they are kind of checking on some Tamiya paints for me down there. I'm not really good at painting things. I haven't really done a whole lot of that, but um, I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try to do something a little bit more fancy this time. I've been watching some of the guys, Hemi Storm, and many others, kind of doing painting tutorials and stuff, so that I at least know the basics. So hopefully, or not hopefully, but in all actuality, the things that you see that are flaws or blemishes have nothing to do with the teaching. They are the skills of the hand, uh, good or bad. So hopefully it turns out all right. And either way, it's going to get beat up, but I am going to put a little bit of time into this guy. So we can talk a little bit about what's going on with it. Another great guy. See, I've, I haven't been a part of this RC community for an extremely long time, but uh, the people that I've met so far in this community are amazing. People that I've met new and old. Um, uh, a friend of mine from my construction life, um, Neil, owns Squid Inserts, SL3D, RC.com, Squid Inserts. Great dude. He makes 3D inserts for tires. I have not put them in these tires yet, only because I haven't got them ordered. But in almost all my other rigs, that's what I'm running is the Squid Inserts. They're amazing. Neil's a great dude. Family's Montana business. That hometown, home state pride, 406 baby. Means a lot to most of us out here. So I'm happy to support him. Also, all the people that I've met out on social crawls and small events that have taken place around here have been amazing. So both the internet community and the local community have been awesome. That being said, let's take a look at this guy. Anyways, I went with the Reefs RC Plague body. I don't know if it's forwards or it's probably backwards. Sorry about that. Like I said, a little license plate inside there to close off the bed. It's Corrupt Carbon Works Battle Axe uh, chassis rails, carbon fiber. They're just offer a little bit more shock placement. This being my first, true comp crawler. This is going to kind of be a platform that's going to be changing as I go through this season and I'm learning more. These shocks are just placeholders. I was trying to find out what length I wanted to go with, and these guys were amazing. And there's little tricks you can do to get the shocks to sit at different heights and stay at that height, so that you can get actually what you're after for your length. So that's exactly what I did, and I have deluxe shocks, uh, deluxe fab shocks that are on the way for this guy. With that kit from Brad, I got all the aluminum um, F10 axle housings. Basically, everything aluminum or brass that you could do to the axles has been done. Um, so love Vanquish products. Um, I love being able to take and adapt them. I've got a few cold turkeys, one of those ones that yeah, right here. Cold turkeys, one of those ones. This is where these shocks came from, is off of those guys. That one's getting new shocks too eventually, because I have messed these shocks up and they are leaky as all get out. Um, so that being said, servo went with the Reefs 1100. A lot of power for this guy. Right now, I am not running it through a BEC. My plan is at some point. This has the Hobbywing Fusion Pro. My plan is at some point to swap this over to the Pro Elite, so that we can go 4S and then I can run a little bit more amperage through it. I'm not, if I can avoid a BEC, an external BEC, I will do that, solely because I am not a wiring or electric superhero. So I choose to try to find all my things in one device. If that means that if something goes bad and I have to replace a motor, that's the bullet I have to bite. So, anywho, I've got receivers on the way so I can swap it over to my, even though this won't have four wheel steer, this is kind of my go-to controller. It's a FlySky G7P Plus. It's a great 314 crawlers is who I got this through. It does have the four wheel steer thumb on it. It's amazing. I've got that on my UTB 18. Um, Eventually, I am going to be doing another optic here. And when I order that, I'll order the rear, uh, rear axle replacement, front axle, rear axle replacement, so that I can make the next one a four wheel steer. I may also at some point do this one as a four wheel steer, but it's more of kind of just a bomb around thing. You've probably seen it running around in the video right up here. I don't know if you guys can see that at all. Um, that TV might be moving on down the line. But kind of the reason why I hopped up here is I just kind of wanted to go through what I got here. Things. Oh, Reefs tires. Um, these ones are the Crooks. I think they're going to do really well. Like I said, I'm going to be doing the squid inserts in these. I want to talk to Neil and maybe kind of play with a couple of things for fitment on these because I have some ideas. Um, Anyways, let's move away from that. I'm just kind of going through everything that I got on this. So right now it's just a Spectrum, Spectrum RTR. It's just something so that I can test everything and get everything programmed. So it's nothing fun. It will be getting funner as we move along. Okay, what else do we got on here? Okay, Mike's RC mounts. Where did I put you? Oh, you're up on my wall. So we'll talk about this a little bit more in depth, and I'll zoom in on this in a little bit, and we'll talk about this is my little wall of appreciation, stumbles and bumbles. Like some things are, we'll talk about it. Sorry. Let's go with Mike's. I put his patch up here because I don't have a carry-all backpack uh, yet. And the backpack that I currently use does not have any place to put Velcro patches. So, and it's probably backwards. But anyways, what it says is Mike's RC mounts. This is Mike Lynch. He's a gentleman that I came across again on one of these RC sites. He is also on multiples and a big promoter of the RC community. He also wants to help you hook your body to your car. So, what I did is, or what he did, was printed me out some of these guys, and he's got a bunch of these in stock ready to go. They're at a decent rate. He does different sales. So if you catch him, he's basically every weekend has something going on. If not every weekend, pretty dang close. Um, If he doesn't have anything posted, hit him up and just say, "Hey, what's the deal today?" And he'll get you taken care of. He was awesome. He helped me. He got a couple other bits and bobs. Like I just started talking to him about these mounts in particular. Ended up getting a few sets of mounts from him. But I wanted some other bits and bobs, and I didn't know if he had the ability to do those. Which he has a 3D printer, so he's got the ability to do anything. It's the files, right? So I asked him. He didn't have what I was looking for, but he was like, "Let me see what I can find." So he was able to go find what we needed and get those printed out to me that day, and shipped out the following morning. He is amazing, easy to work with, quick, got a good sense of humor. Um, so I appreciate him. Mike Lynch, Mike's RC mounts. Check him out. If you need anything, hit him up. Multiple colors. Even hooked me up with some blue thumb wheels for it because of the color theme of this guy and all of them. Like I'm partial to blue. I don't know if you blue, if you notice blue, they're like blue or blue, blue. I got a lot of blue. I like blue. Um, kind of, kind of my my go-to color. Anyways, like I said, my wife and kids are a couple hours down the road from me in Billings, Montana, and it's my beautiful daughter Reese's birthday today. Happy birthday, Reese. I'm so excited that you've become a teenager. As hard and uh, as hard as it can be sometimes, it's an amazing journey that we're on with you, and I love you very much. That being said, they're down there in Billings. Uh, they've got a RC shop. So we do have a local shop here in Bozeman, and they have the spaz sticks. I wanted to try some Tamiya paint. So this has nothing to do with Radio Shack in Bozeman, or what they have in stock. I just wanted to try a new paint on this body. So I'm doing some Hemi Storm. I've been watching Hemi Storm and a few others that are amazing artists, first off, but extremely knowledgeable about paint and what paints to use, what paints not to use. And they have not said anything negative, and I'm not going off of anything negative. Just the positives that they have said about the Tamiya paints is really the big reason why I'm I'm leaning that direction. So I got one of these is twisted in here. So I'm hoping that they can find me. I don't know if you can guess or not what color I would be having them pick up. A bunch of different variations of blue. Yes, absolutely. I'm also going to try to do a couple different things as far as design on this guy. I was thinking about trying to do the honeycomb, um, kind of ghosted in honeycomb. Uh, I'm I'm not going to go that route. I'm not that talented yet. I will eventually give that a go. I am going to try to jazz this up a bit and make it a little bit cooler, fully knowing I'm going to beat the crap out of this and the paint eventually will all just fall out of it. But I like to kind of jazz things up and take a couple pictures of it. Um, the first event that I go to, well, it'll already be all messed up because I got to do a bunch of practice and tuning on this guy. But this is going to be the one that I play with this year. I'm going to try to do a few competitions. We don't have a ton of competitions here in Montana, or in this area of Montana, but I will do my best to hit all of them. We've got a big one coming up, Giants Playground. That one's going to be amazing. Um, is it Copper City Crawlers? If you go on Copper City Crawlers on Facebook, you can see that. You can go on Crawl Montana, Crawl MT. Um, there's a bunch of websites. If you look up the websites that are kind of local to uh, Montana, you're going to see all of the local events that come up. That be racing, swap meets, kind of everything gets posted on there. That's a spot for us to kind of let each other know what's going up, even if it's just like a hey, we're going up to Headwaters, or hey, we're going out to here or there, heading down to the Verizon crawl track. Um, sponsored by Dairy Queen, the Belgrade Dairy Queen. We just let each other know what's going on. If you want to make some friends in the RC community, that's the best way to do it. Uh, unless you know a bunch of guys, and if you know a bunch of guys, then hit them up, get them out there, and let me know where you're going so I can come with you. Anyways, so I think that pretty much goes over this. So later on today, I'm cleaning the space because I've been working on this and I've been breaking the next thing we're going to talk about. Um, which crushed my heart. I was watching Rock Pirates. I'm going to put this back in its stable and its leaky shock drip zone. Um, I was watching the Rock Pirates live stream. Let's get Mike's RC mounts back up here on my wall of appreciation, right where he belongs. I am Mike. I am not that Mike. That's Mike Lynch. And again, check him out on Facebook. He's, Mike's RC Mounts, any of those uh, RC sites that have, parts and goods for sale. Check it out. And please, no crybabies. Oh, here. We're just going to go back in this video because I don't want to deal with any copyright crap. And it might pop up to someone who doesn't want me to put the video up behind me. Never quite understood that, unless we are, and there's never any volume, but, and I'm, hey, I'm not making any money. I mean, not on YouTube. Yet, if someone wants to give me $1 million to look this good, hit me up. But since that's not real, this is just for fun. Just messing around doing. Oh, yeah, more license plate parts. Uh, I'm gonna put this in the back of the. This is gonna go inside the cab at the back to create a stiffener. I just have a little bit of side to side I'm displeased with, and not displeased because of the body. I'm sure it's because of the little extra cut that I accidentally made when I was trimming and I didn't quite get it as tight as I wanted to. I went a little bit wide. I'm gonna blame it on the lighting or my eyes, but it's definitely not a big deal. And like I said, if we stiffen that up a little bit, I think we're golden. And it's a crawler. I mean, it's gonna flip, it's gonna flop, it's gonna drip, it's gonna drop. We're gonna scratch it and beat it up. So it's like it's not a shelf queen. This one's gonna get run. And I like to keep the things together. This way I don't lose there as often. Um, okay, so these kind of tie in together. So does that. Like you just saw, that's what. So Mike Lynch. Um, that's what this is about. Yeah, let's turn that off so we get rid of that glare. I don't know if any of you guys are old, but this is a dentist's magnifying glass light. I mean, it's not a dentist one. It's a $30 one from Harbor Freight, but that's what I call it, is my dentist light. Um, and that's for seeing, honestly, the moderate size screws. The little ones, it's more like doing it by feel. Anywho, so that's what this is. This this little this little guy here. This is companies that I appreciate. Most of them are American companies, or at least the designs and things are done here in America. Some of these are done, designs and things are done overseas, and they are printed here in America. But they are people who believe in our hobby, a hobby that I have, in my short time here, have come to enjoy so much and love. That I, as a 44-year-old man, never really looking at YouTube before or doing much YouTube before, have decided to make a channel and kind of have some fun with the RC. It is great. I do have some big things coming up. I'm a little bit of a pest, so um, I glom on and I push to get information from people and things that I can do to help the community. And right now, I don't have a ton of response. We'll talk about what Red Cat and I, what Red Cat, I've got an affiliate link with Red Cat. Uh, and I have a little bit of a story about Red Cat that I'll be putting out here in just a little bit. That's one that I want to shoot and edit because it was something that means a lot to me. So I want to add some pictures to that. And it's kind of what about 6, 7 years ago got me and my family, or me and my son in particular, into RC, or the starting point for us. Anywho, so this is companies that I appreciate. Reefs RC. Those guys are crazy. I love their helicopter antics and stuff. Can't wait to see what's coming out here this week. Looks like some big things. I know for a fact that they are going to push and progress RC, what they do with their servo game. I'm kind of wondering if we don't have something coming out that's going to make us all want to open our wallets. Oftentimes that's what it does to me. It's like, hey, fella, take out your wallet. And most of the time I do so with a grin on my face. Um, except you gotta wait. And that's the hard part for me. Anywho, so Reefs RC, I did bundles of Reefs this year. There's a sticker for that. Reefs RC, I did say I was a gold member, so that's why I got their gold member plaque. And also was able to buy the teal raw 500. Love that. I don't know that I will ever run that in anything. I think if I end up in the financial position to where I can buy more of the LE uh, limited edition colors, uh, I will definitely do that. If they come with another breast cancer awareness one, and this is a shout out to Reefs, or a big please, if you come up with another breast cancer awareness one, I I want I will buy them. Um, I have something coming up in the works that that one would be amazing for. Anywho, yeah, I so there's Reefs RC, love it. Uh, SL3D RC squid inserts, gentleman that I've known for a very long time from outside of the RC world, um, in the construction world. Back when he used to do that, and has been fortunate enough to move beyond that and move into something that he enjoys and loves. I respect and admire everybody who's able to make that leap and make it work. Very difficult thing to do. And I wish everybody who does that the best of luck. All these small companies, all these things that keep us going, keep us innovating, keep us building, keep us out there on the rocks. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Um, Vanquish products. So I did the Trucks of Fortune this year. That was amazing. I got the Phoenix. So these actually tie together. Phoenix RTR, Phoenix Portal RTR, and limited edition SPG tan uh, axle housings. Amazing. Matt, love you. Uh, this is just a sticker sheet. I usually like wouldn't put a sticker sheet up here, but it's a miscut. Uh, the cut is here and the line is here. So it either bounced, during the cut or during the print. And no big deal, not a big deal. They immediately sent me another one. Um, Immediately. Uh, Within minutes of me sending the email, they had Michael Pham had one in the mail. Amazing. It's awesome. So next is Redline Designs. So Redline Designs is Jordan. You have probably, I'm gonna get real close and uncomfortable with you here for a second. Hi, shameless plug. uh, Sorry, I have some cars up on a shelf over there. So this one, it breaks my heart a little. So Redline Designs, amazing. This is a company. So he had accidentally got a little bit of super glue on this hood, so he had reprinted it before he shipped it out, and had this one installed and ready to go. So he was like, "I'm just going to toss in the extra hood," and I was like, "Hey, sign it for me." I said, "Sign it. Leave enough room for me to put a sticker on it. We'll put a sticker on it, and I'll put it on my wall of appreciation." So here it is. If you guys are looking for IJs, innovative, different, new, this is the Dovetail. This is one that they've been working on. Got it put together. It's beautiful. It is number 65. Talk about that in a minute. This is number 65. I mean, this thing is awesome. I'm going to do a full video on this. This is really a sneak peek because I haven't really put it out there that I've got this one. But this one went on the Vanquish, the TOF truck. These wheels. This is what I'm talking about. These wheels. Brad Neal. Bam. Absolutely beautiful. Axles are the SPG 10. Got the brass front weights in it. This is definitely not for competing. This is definitely not for hard lines. This is my scale baby. So we're just having fun with it. I'm gonna have to do different shocks for this guy, and I'm kind of looking into a few other options that I could do to get this a little bit more cool in my eyes. Everybody's eyes are different, right? You do you, I do me. Okay, so let's talk about my Butterfingers. I was watching Rock Pirates the other night. I've got this thing all completely mounted. I put the battery in. I was setting it on the ground, about to set it on the ground, and it slipped out of my hand, and it landed just like that. And the front bumper and grill paid the price. I mean, as you can see there, she's missing a couple of teeth. And the rest of the chunky chunks, here they lay. So I don't want to talk too much more about that guy. stock electronics. Uh, Eventually, we'll do a few things to it. But again, this is, I'm not wanting this to be a hardline rig. More pieces. But yeah, I was flabbergasted. I hit that dang thing and oh. So to kind of continue on with what this guy is, gnomes. I love gnomes. I love America. I love American gnomes. That's an American gnome. Oh yeah. Anywho, I threw set of Vanquish wheels. These ones also came from Brad Neal. Um, this was just a used set that he had laying. They're just sitting up here. I got 4-pack from him, so there was quite a bit of stuff in there. Hobby Wing. This one I actually uh, set there because it was in my way at the moment. But I do love Hobby Wing. I these Quick Run Fusion Pros, Pro Elites. Um, I mean, what Red Cat's doing with their Fusion. I'm gonna try to re-aim you guys here. What Red Cat's doing with their Fusion is amazing. I hope they keep going and uh, keep putting their flair on what we got going on. The price point of that guy was enticing enough to get, you know, people who want to get one but want to be kind of effective immediately. That thing, wheels and tires here. I'll get one out. And we'll talk about what I have not done to it instead of what I have done to it. I mean, this one, it's silly out of the box. These things are amazing, and I'll do my Red Cat thing right now. The short story. Oh yeah, this one's got squids in it. I love them. I mean, they make the difference. So far, I'm actually gonna do because I'm curious. I tried to. I guess I skipped right past dual stage foams and skipped right past. I don't think is the right thing to say. I think the right thing to say is I just I know Neil, so I just kind of didn't really give much of anything else a shot, right? Um, I did get, you know, as everybody I think has done, tried the silicone inserts. Um, and depending on the weight of your vehicle, these could be amazing. Um, if you have something that's super light and you're you're not worried about the side hill, or your tire has a little bit tougher of a sidewall, these might work. But I haven't found these to be amazing. And the whole reason behind that is this, right? I can flatten that out. And I'm a big old fat dude. So like it's not amazing that I could smash it, right? But like to me, there's just nothing to it. So when you're going around a side hill and such, I mean, you just mash over and you're like rubbing your bead. Sorry, I didn't mean to rub the microphone. You're rubbing your beadlock ring just on the rocks, and you're just coming down a hill and turning. So I'm not a huge fan of that. And it's not that I'm not a fan of that. It's just I don't have the truck that this works for. I'm also not the person who wants to come in and like try to figure out things to poke in here to make it, still balanced but a little bit stronger in the center. Like I don't want to faff around with that. And what these inserts have brought to the table, from Neil and from SL3D, these they hold. I mean, You don't have total sidewall collapse. You're not, your bead is way up high, and it's not. I gotta push it to get it to do anything. Um, so that's why I do these. I am gonna be doing a video. I think I'm probably gonna do maybe these ones. I was thinking I haven't seen the or had in my hands the Mias ones. So I want to try those out as well and see if they're any different. Um, and then I want to do a dual stage foam, and then a set of these 3D inserts, and just go between the and I'll only choose one of the. I'll feel the two silicone ones, see which one feels like it would work better in my situations, and go with one. Then we'll have one silicone, one 3D printed, one uh, dual stage foam. And we'll put those against each other and we'll go test them out. I'm trying to come up with a consistent testing ground that I can take these guys to, which I will find a spot. But I would like for that spot to be quiet so that I can talk during it, and then we're not bothering people, and people aren't bothering us. So I'm working on it. So that's upcoming on the channel. I hope you guys, like and subscribe. Come check it out. It's it, it it could be informational, or maybe I'll fall over and there'll be something good to laugh at. Either way, there'll be some antics and some BS. Let's talk about Red Cat. So, about 6 years ago, maybe seven, Christmas time, I bought my son uh, the Everest 10. I believe that's what it's called. Um, and he opened it for Christmas. We got it all set up. Took us a minute to get it to figure out how to bind it, and we bound it, and it ran forward about 8 feet and then stopped. Right. Um, and this was my first experience with RC kind of as a whole since childhood. When I was a kid, I had a couple of RC cars, a couple of RC cars with cords. I'm that old. uh, which was more, those were toy grade. I didn't get any hobby grades until maybe a couple of years ago. And started with bashers and kind of racers and kind of fell into crawling because of some people I ran into. Uh, and now do a lot more crawling than I do anything else, because I love it. It piques my interest. It keeps me thinking, wanting to innovate, wanting to. Not that I'm fabbing anything. Don't get me wrong. Innovate with other people's parts to a rig that works well for my scenarios. That's the type that I am speaking of. Um, so, and that's kind of what I've done here. I took the SAD shocks off of the optic that were the originals. Uh, from that and have put them on this, full drooped in the front, just getting it slammed down low, a little bit of action, collar, at like 1/4 of an inch at the on the backs. Just trying out something new. This is too tall. Needs to come down. It needs to shorten up at least in the front end, to not kind of release so much on big climbs. But they're toys. We play with them. We work on them. I did a kinetic strap for this guy. Do I have it hooked up properly? Nah. Am I gonna hook it up properly? Nah. Um, I'm not a I'm not a huge. I haven't done enough competing to have found the straps and winches useful. Um, there has been some times where it may have been nice, but for making me any faster or better, it hasn't done that yet. And this summer I won't be running anything with winches at all. I would, however, love to run a pull down winch, because I think that would be extremely helpful in some situations. Sorry, I got a bunch of dirt I think that would be extremely helpful in some situations, but at the same token, eh, is what it is. What was I going to do? Okay, so Red Cat. I'm going to go grab something to drink here real quick, and then we'll do this Red Cat story. Taking a station break. Oh. We are back after a little pause for the cause. I haven't seen anybody hop in yet. If anybody does, hit a comment up. I'll gladly interact. Again, not a sponsor. I just find things delicious. Very delicious. I will not fail to any sponsor. So let. Oh yeah, just random cardboard boxes. Okay. Ooh yeah. This is a very small room, so let's talk about my layout here. This is my desk. That's my TV. I look at blueprints on that. I'm a carpenter and construction manager, so that's mostly what I do there. Or I watch these fantastic videos uh, that we all watch. All the same ones as you guys, Josh, Matt, Oscar, the whole gamut. Vanquish, Red Cat, Reefs, Sharif and Brock are probably a couple of my favorites to watch just because they're a little crazy. I like that. A little bit of crazy is good. So let's talk about Red Cat. And you'll see I got Red Cat on my banner wall. So they are not sponsoring my channel. I would love it if Red Cat would sponsor my channel. Let me finish the story here. Where was I? So, anyways, we got Red Cat, went for about 10 minutes or 10 feet, stopped working. Sent Red Cat an email. In that email, I just said, hey, no big deal. Wanted to touch base with you. We got the Everest for Christmas for my son. It went about 10 feet and wouldn't work. So my brother-in-law, who was very into RC at the time and still is, he came over and looked at it and came to the conclusion that the receiver was bad. So I mentioned that in the email, and just said, hey, no big deal. Please let me know what I can do to help diagnose this. And I sent that on Christmas Eve, right after my son had opened it. On Christmas Day, he returned an email. Darren, I believe, is his name. And this was a long time ago, and I can't find the email. I wish I could so I could just send it to you. And he said, hey, I apologize. Sometimes these things happen, which they do, and we weren't upset. Just wanted to get it remedied when the time was right. So touch base uh, with us back on Christmas Day, and just said, "Yep, we got a little bag of stuff headed out and we'll make sure we get that taken care of for you. So in this bag came a new receiver and transmitter, a new ESC, a new motor, a new servo. He put the whole works in there, and a little note that said, um, "Sorry, I hope everything works for you from now on." Uh, and like to me and my family, that means a lot. That's why you'll see on the channel some of the first videos that I have on here are of the Kaiju, or Caillou. I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce it. Everybody says it a little bit different. Um, I did some work on one of those. A buddy of mine has one. Um, so I've done some stuff on the bashers. I've done a bunch of stuff on the crawlers, and by a bunch of stuff I mean just going through it, making sure that it's right. These things are come out of the box amazing. Um, and I'm so glad that they are kicking out this level of quality at such a good price, because it gets people that can't afford to put together a $2,000 rig or $1,000 rig or a $1,200 rig. It gives them the chance to come out and play and be semi competitive. On this guy, it's got that Fusion SE or the Fusion RTR. Um, Great motor, haven't had any issues. I did burn up the servo in this guy. I tend to get things into nasty binds. Um, and that's why, on the comp rig, I've gone up to an 1100 just to take a little bit more of that abuse. So that's my goal right now is to build that thing to be a little bit more bulletproof. And when it breaks, it's going to cost a little bit more to fix it. That's that. This is this. I did do the Enjoyer rock lights on this. Amazing. I set them up because I'm not going for anything scale here. I set them up as a reverse light, a headlight. So this is two sets, one set to the front end, one set to the back end. Uh, Light going forward, light going down, forward, down, back, down. So this is just like my night play around rig. It's very capable. It's very fun. It's out in this video a little bit as well. This was with my buddy Derek. We went and had fun tooling around a couple weeks ago. Um, so it was nice to get that video out. Nice to have some fun with the friends. So that's a Red Cat. I appreciate Red Cat. If Red Cat ever does, like I said, I've got an affiliate link. I'll be putting that up in the. I didn't get it in. I somehow hit the wrong button and started this earlier than I wanted to. That being said, I will edit this afterwards and get my affiliate link in, and maybe like put a link pop right there so you guys can just touch it. Anyways, Red Cat, I love those guys. I hope it's not backwards. And it is backwards. See, this is something that I hate about this, but it won't be backwards when I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I'm sure it's a button on Streamlabs that I can hit to get that to go away. The issue with going through Streamlabs and not going through YouTube Direct is I end up with a delay from the mic. And maybe it's just an OCD thing, but I am not, I repeat, I am not able to watch things where the lips and the words don't sync. Uh, okay, we'll put this one away. Red Cat, Red Cat, Red Cat. Hit it up. If you are going to be purchasing a Red Cat or Red Cat products, you can use the code HMRC Mike at checkout, and that will go directly to my link. It's a very small thing, but uh, it does come back to me. Something does. Very, very, very small percentage, which I appreciate greatly. If anybody ever uses the link, because at this point I just have a link. Haven't ever been able to use it yet. Anywhoski. Yeah, so I mean that's kind of all that I really had going on. I was hoping that someone might hop in and maybe I could interact or answer some questions. Still working on lighting, still working on uh, rigs constantly. Um, I don't know what you guys want to see. I tend to feel like me working on rigs is boring. I'll do it a little bit on the live stream, but if you'd like to see more um, of me working on things, fumbling around with my big dumb hands, I'm happy to do that. If you want to see more run videos, if you want to see me run and talk, see, these are things that I want to do. Like, yeah, see, all of it's fun for me. Um, I just want to know what you guys want to see versus what you don't want to see, because I'm doing it all anyway. Um, I know run videos are difficult unless it's a short. Though those are kind of my favorite. I can talk and talk my way through lines, and half the time it's me talking to you guys, and half the time it's just me having that conversation with self. I do that from time to time, especially when I'm out crawling or working on a rig. Um, I'm like, come on, get in there, guy. So I'm just talking to myself. But it would be awesome, amazing if you guys would leave a little comment, say, hey, Mike D, what I would like to see is this or that or negative things or whatever. If anybody ever is wanting me to build a vehicle for them or assemble a vehicle for them or do a kit or get something competition ready for them, I would be happy to do that as well. If it's something you're willing to let me film and uh, put up on the channel, or if that in some way would make a vehicle special for you to have me build it, I don't know why that would be. But if you think that the vehicles I'm putting together are worthwhile and you would like me to do one for you, either live or as a video here on my channel, I would love to do that. And we can go through all the parts and pieces, um, and make sure you're getting exactly what you want. Um, like I said, I do try to do clean, good looking work. I always try to add a little bit of flair to it. 32 pieces of flair is where I like to be. Um, you know, if you don't want just the minimum, you want to have covered in flair. So, like, I just do like these little anodized washers. A, um, I like to have the washer. It spreads that uh, spreads what's pulling on the carbon fiber out a little bit wider, giving it more flat area to rest against. Um, I like that. Uh, so I add those on everything. Like I said, I'm a big fan of blue, 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 blue. So those are all blue anodized on this one. My cross braces are blue. Um, for my mounts, Mike's RC mounts. I need to loosen that, twist it up just a hair. But blue. Um, there's blue in the carbon. I don't know if you can see that, but in the carbon fiber is blue. Um, and that's like I was actually not gonna do blue on this, but it showed up with that as blue, and I was like, "Yep, mind has changed." Um, but as far as build goes, build quality goes, I really try to. Obviously, the parts and pieces would be of your choice, but I really try to keep things clean, keep things tight, um, get them where I want them to be. I run a tiny battery, so I'm not worried about my battery placement, even though it's a little bit further back. It's right there. It's a tiny battery, and it actually balances me. Um, So, but we can play all those things, you know. Hardcore RC links. I almost forgot to mention. Amazing. They're tough. They're strong. They give you that clearance. Um, they're the double bent rears. Yeah, I'm so excited to run this thing. There's a couple things that I'm waiting for. Like I said, body, we're gonna paint that up. Uh, that up. Body, we're gonna paint that up. Hopefully, can get started on it here. Maybe tomorrow. If you guys want to see that, I'd do that as a live. I'd have to go out and clean the actual shop to get it ready for video. But that is something that we could do. We could put you on the old chest rack and paint it. I won't make you go through me doing the prep work. I won't make you go through that. I'll have it all prepped and I'll just be at the point of painting. And like the thing is I'm not going to teach you anything. So if you're under the impression that I'm going to show you a new trick for painting, and that's why you would like to see it, you're wrong. I am doing tips from other YouTubers. I've been watching a bunch of videos. Really have been enjoying them. And my family is down in Billings, so I'm having them pick up some paints for me, hopefully, if they have what I need. Which I don't know that they are. Their website is a little bit vague. So I'm going to call them here shortly as soon as we're done here. It's after 10 o'clock. So as soon as we're done here, I'm going to call them up and we are going to see what they have and see if they can put me together a little care package. If not, Amazon it is. And we will get that at the end of next week. We'll be able to paint it next weekend. Anyways, I really appreciate you guys uh, coming around, sticking around. If you stuck around this long, you're an amazing human being. I have even bored myself. If you liked it enough to want to see more, see it again, anything of that nature, you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment. I will try to respond to you ASAP, and I appreciate you guys sticking around for this. More content to come. You can kind of decide. You can kind of decide what some of that content is just by saying, "Hey, this is what I'd like to see." All right, guys. Um, if possible, I'll do a little live tomorrow on some paint on this. I'll shoot out a post tonight saying whether that's real or not. Otherwise, we'll catch you on the next one. I'm Mike D. This is High Mountain RC, and we can't wait to see you on the flip. Oh, now it's not going to shut off. Ew.